Billy Schmeichel alongside me. And we've got a guest now, Alexander Zotov, CEO of the Football Players Union of Russia. Two of the, I think, the bravest and toughest men in Moscow right now to join me. Alexander, so we don't know yet, with the first bowl, the seeds are coming out, so we don't know who they're going to play yet. We'll come back to that in a few moments. But first of all, as the host nation, traditionally, people expect great things of the host nation because they've got, home advantage. Russia, not the strongest they've been in the last few decades. How do you rate their chances and how important will home support be?
Well, home support is always important for any team, and we remember Korea did really well in 2002, so I think Russia, even though maybe not as good like it was like 20 years ago, as you said, but still we have good chances. We've got a lot of young players coming up, and I hope next year, if the weather is better, then we have good chances. But because the crowd's going to turn up and in big numbers. For Russian
I'm
teams.
with you on the better weather. we are here on the rooftop of the Four Seasons, looking at the Kremlin in this incredible weather.
Yeah.
Once we get to the World Cup, Russia obviously in 2 years are going to begin playing competitive matches. You must speak to the players. How has it been for them not to be playing games for points?
Well, I mean, it's always frustrating because a friendly match is not a competitive match, you're right. But I think the head coach was always stressing out that any game they play now is like a tournament game and they play for points. So I think they were always set to show, and plus they usually played at home, so they always tried to show their best. It didn't happen with Argentina recently, but it did happen with Spain. Yeah. So hopefully, if the Spain spirit stays, we will play well, I think.
And I'm just keeping an eye on the draw. It's just going to go to the second pot shortly. Yeah. Maradona's stepped out. But before we get to that, I just want to ask you about the game here in Russia, because, they traditionally played in the winter season, which doesn't help development of the game. It's hard to play when you've got the snow coming down like this. And, they've changed now the duration of the season, so it's kind of in better weather. Will this be a chance to kick on the game here now? Because it create a lot of enthusiasm, won't it, in young players? Well,
surely. I mean, I expect a lot of young kids after the World Cup to go to football academies and schools. The thing is that I don't agree with you that we play now in better weather, because a lot of people say that since we changed the system of seasons, we actually play in December. And then they just had several games at Khabarovsk in -15, -18.
Ouch.
Yeah, and it was really cold, and a lot of players got injured. So we as a union didn't like it, and we are now in talks with the league to set a limit of temperatures, high and low. It's not set in UEFA or FIFA, and we want to be the pioneers in this thing.
What teams are the players not wanting to play against? There must be someone in there they say, oh, we don't want them. You can't say Denmark. I'd be very happy with that.
Well,
in terms of the World Cup, who do you want to avoid?
No, I would like to see Denmark, but in our group, I'm happy that we got Uruguay and not England. So, sorry, no, we still might get England. So,
yes.
I would like to avoid England as the opening game, but it could be an interesting game, but could be also a hard start for us. Yeah, because England got a young and competitive team now.
Yeah, so Russia have got Uruguay. That's the first competitive fixture that we know about.
Portugal, Spain.
Yeah,
Portugal, Spain in Group B.
So Spain will not be in Russian group, so that's in Group A, so that's good.
Well, that's the key thing, isn't it? In Pot 2, nobody wanted Spain, because then you basically there's no easy games if you've got Spain. You're struggling.
Spain and England, yeah, they're two best teams of Pot 2, I think.
So looking at that now, we've got Portugal and Spain together in Group B. So now nobody wants that group.
But
because you've got the European champions, you've got the former world champions.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be with Portugal and Spain.
Yeah, well, I think so. But the game between Portugal and Spain is going to be crazy. I think it's like a Iberico Clásico, something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where that game is going to be played as well. But we obviously will know later.
I wanted to ask you, we were talking about the development of the game here. Another key thing, as well as generating interest among the youngsters, you kind of need that boost in infrastructure, don't you, and the funding, because even if you've got lots of enthusiastic children, you've got to have good pitches, good training facilities and coaches to help them. Is that going to be there, do you think?
Well, I hope so. I don't see how the World Cup, World Cup is more about building stadiums for big teams, right? So, but still, there are a lot of training grounds being prepared for the teams, and I hope they will be used after the World Cup as training grounds for the schools and academies, and that could be a good legacy for it on its own.
What's the interest for the World Cup in Russia? Are they happy it's going to come here? I heard yesterday very few people are interested now, but I couldn't believe
it's huge.
that.
It's huge. I mean, you see, in Russia, it's not about clubs, I think, in football. It's about the national team. And when national team plays, it's totally different. It's always, we had a packed stadium in Moscow for the Argentina game. We had a packed, it was a friendly game. There was a packed stadium in St. Petersburg for the Russia-Spain friendly game just recently. So it's going to be packed, and a lot of people are going to turn out, and a lot of people are going to go to the fan zones, watch on big screens. So it's a big issue. I mean, it's a big holiday, big celebration of football in Russia.
Okay. So I just wanted to very, very briefly just update people on the draw so far. It continues. So Russia have got Uruguay in Group A, Portugal, Spain. Nobody wants that group now. Group B. France have got Peru. They'll be pretty pleased with, but that big game, chance to cause a shock there for Peru in Group C. Argentina against Croatia. Again, two tough teams there, and Brazil have just drawn Switzerland. So, like you've said many times, Peter, there's no easy games at this stage.
Germany's just got Mexico. Germany, Mexico, yeah.
And again, we saw them in the Confederations Cup. Yeah. Mexico, quite free scoring, let a few in, but again, they can beat anybody on their day, can't they?
They can. They have a fantastic coach, Juan Carlos Antonio, who Osorio, who I worked with before. He is a very, very clever coach tactically, and he prepares his team so well. But obviously Germany, what can I say?
Yeah. And Alexander, in terms of the tickets, this is an important thing, isn't it? Because you're talking about the interest for the World Cup. I know people who've actually already got tickets for a friend of mine got tickets for the opening and the closing ceremony.
Me too.
Really cheap as well. And I just thought, well, you lucky so-and-so. But that's crucial, isn't it, that you make the tickets affordable for people and you get a lot of locals coming along to make sure you've got packed stadiums and a good atmosphere.
Yeah. Sure, and I think a lot of people went for the category 4 and 3 tickets, which are not that expensive, and I myself got for I didn't get the final ones, but for the opening game I have a set of tickets from
probably, and I would have thought you just would have gone a VIP pass or something.
Well, for myself, yes, but I want to take I have 2 sons, and I want to take them to football, and I don't want to be sitting in VIP and my kids somewhere else, so I would like to be in the stands with them.
Okay, Alexander, I really appreciate you coming in to join us. Go on, get inside.
Okay, thank you.
You have contributed valiantly. Many thanks.
Bye-bye.
And let's go back.